So now we are going to discuss the next topic. We need to start a new topic, that is models, theories and models in geography. So these theories and models are the result of quantitative revolution, positivist ideology that led to incorporation of theories and laws in geography. And it is because of these models in geography that the geography came to acquire scientific status, and geography became capable of solving the various human problems. The efficacy, effectiveness and the acceptability of geography increased. That is precisely because of these models. So here the first model that we are going to discuss is agriculture location theory by Von Thunen. Agriculture location theory by Von Thunen. Now, in 19th century, basically under the impact of positivist ideology, in 19th century, under the impact of positivist ideology, there began a process of formulation of theories and laws in human sciences. In all human sciences, theories and laws were being formulated. And as a result of this positivist ideology, such theories and laws also began to be incorporated in geography. Locational analysis was introduced in geography, and agriculture location theory of Von Thunen is the result of, or is the manifestation of, such positivist ideology. The agriculture location theory that got introduced in geography is the result of this positivist revolution or quantitative revolution. This agriculture location theory of Von Thunen is inductive, empirical, and it is based on the basic concept of economic rent. This theory, Von Thunen agriculture location theory, is basically inductive, empirical, and is based on the basic concept of economic rent. Basically, this theory is one of the earliest attempt to explain the agricultural land use in economic terms. The Von Thunen's agriculture location theory is in fact one of the earliest attempt to explain the agricultural land use in economic terms. That is, it is one of the earliest attempt to explain agricultural land use in economic terms, and this theory was put forward by Von Thunen in his work, The Isolated State. The Isolated State. This agriculture location theory was put forward by Von Thunen in his work, The Isolated State. Basically, what was the basic objective of putting forward this agriculture location theory? There was certain logic, certain idea that Von Thunen wanted to put forward, and therefore he put forward this agriculture location theory. Now, Von Thunen in this theory, he wanted to explain why and how the agricultural land use or agricultural land use changes when we move away from the market. In this entire theory, Von Thunen has tried to explain why and how the agricultural land use undergoes change as we move away from the market. Although this concept of economic rent was also given by Ricardo, but that concept was different. Here in this economic rent, Von Thunen has proceeded differently. Here Von Thunen in his theory has explained why is it that as we move away from the market, that intensity of cultivation of a particular crop goes on decreasing. As we move away from the city market, the intensity, that is the yield per hectare, yield per unit area of any crop start decreasing as we move away from market. And second thing, as we move away from market, different crops starts appearing. That is, the agricultural land use undergoes change. The basic objective in this von Thunen's agricultural location theory is he wants to explain why different crops are grown at different distances from the market. As we move away from the market, different crops are grown. And even if same crop is grown, then the intensity of production, intensity of cultivation goes on decreasing as we move away from the market. Now, to explain these two aspects, he made use of two models. To explain these two aspects, he has made use of two models. That is model 1, intensity model, intensity theory, model 2, crop theory. So in this agricultural location theory, this theory is based on these two models. It is based on these two models. Model 1 is intensity theory. Model 2 is crop theory. In intensity theory, von Thunen explains why the intensity of cultivation of a particular crop decreases as we move away from the market. In this model, von Thunen explains why intensity of cultivation means the yield per unit area is deliberately decreased as we move away from the market. Here the word intensity means yield, that is total production per unit area, that is productivity. The farmer will decrease the productivity or the yield per unit area deliberately as his farmland gets located away from the market. As the farmhouse or the farmland gets located away from the market, the farmer deliberately decreases the per unit production. That is, the intensity of cultivation of the same crop will decrease as we move away from the market. Model 2, crop theory. Here the von Thunen will explain why different crops are grown as we move away from the market. Why the agricultural land use changes as we move away from the market. Why is it that a particular crop is grown closer to the market and another crop is grown away from the market? Why? So these two models form the basis of von Thunen's agricultural location theory. Now, before proceeding with this theory, von Thunen made certain assumptions. He made certain assumptions. Basically, the sole objective of making the assumptions, it is these assumptions that make these theories as normative. That is, whatever models have been put forward, whenever we make some assumptions, that is, we are ignoring the real world complexities, and whenever we ignore the real world complexity, then we are making the theory normative. These assumptions were made by von Thunen so as to hold certain factors constant and to focus on certain more important factors that may introduce changes in the nature of crop. Actually, in real world, there may be numerous factors which are responsible for decrease in yield or decrease in or change in nature of crops. In reality, maybe it may be my personal choice that I like eating rice, so I am growing rice at certain distance from the market. There may be no logic in justification. So what happens in real world? There may be numerous factors that may introduce variation in the yield or variation in the nature of crops that are being grown in the real world. So in order to hold certain factors constant and in order to emphasize on certain more important factors which are responsible for the decrease or change in yield and which are responsible for the various crops which are being grown, he made these assumptions. So the basic objective of these assumptions made by the von Thunen was to hold certain factors constant that are also responsible for the changes in yield and changes in crop, and to focus on some more important factors which are responsible for the changes in intensity and changes in crop. He made these assumptions. So what were the assumptions? The first assumption was he assumed isotropic surface. That is, the surface is uniform with respect to every aspect. It is homogeneous in terms of fertility, in terms of relief, in every aspect. The entire surface is homogeneous. Second, he presumed all man has rational, economic man, because every person is having individual perception, behavioral differences are there. So rational economic man, that means even if I have a preference for rice, I will not grow rice, I will grow only that crop which gives me maximum profit. So these two assumptions will remove the distortions which are usually found in real world. If you take all men as rational economic, that means my personal choice will not be a factor to be factored in. My personal choice will not be considered. I am a rational man, I am an economic man, I will cultivate that crop which gives me optimum profit. That is, I become optimizer. I am no more a satisficer. So these were the initial assumptions. Then he presumed that at the center of the agricultural region there is an isolated market town. Market center. At the center of the huge agricultural region, there is an isolated market center, and this market is having no connections with outside world. This market is having no connections with outside world. That is, nothing can be imported from outside. Its entire requirements are to be fulfilled by what it is grown around the market center. In the agricultural region, what all commodities that are being grown in the surrounding agricultural region, they will be supplied to the market center, and the sole requirement of this market center will be fulfilled by the commodities which are being grown around it. That is, at the center of the agriculture field, that is, he assumed at the center, all the surplus is sold at the center of the agriculture region. At the center of the agricultural region, there is a single isolated town, and this single isolated town has no connection with the outside world. That is, this town cannot import anything from outside. It will have to subsist on what all commodities that are being produced in the surrounding agricultural region. Fourth, the surrounding agricultural region cannot export anything outside. This surrounding agricultural region, this cannot export anything outside. No. All the transport route converge to the isolated market. What all commodities are being produced, they are being sold to the central market. There is only one mode of transport, that is bullock cart, and the transport cost increases in proportion to distance. That is, the surrounding agricultural region cannot export anything to outside. The central market cannot import anything from outside. That is isolated state. Isolated state. What all commodities surplus is being produced in the surrounding agricultural region, that will be transported to the central city market. All the routes are converging to the central city market, and the transport medium is bullock cart, and transport cost is proportional to distance. So these were the basic assumptions that were made by the von Thunen. Now, let us start this theory. Now, before beginning with model 1 and model 2, we must discuss what is economic rent. What is economic rent? What was the concept of economic rent and why it was introduced? The fundamental concept on which this agricultural location theory is based is the concept of economic rent. Now before proceeding with this theory, we must discuss the concept of economic rent. So we have just started introduction, then I discussed the basic assumptions, the two models on which the theory is based. We will elaborately discuss them. But before discussing those two models in this theory, we must know what is the concept of economic rent. Because it is the fundamental principle underlying the Montunan's agricultural location theory is the principle of economic rent. Now understand it properly. What is economic rent? What is economic rent? Suppose this is the market. Vertical axis. This vertical axis indicates market value of produce. Suppose some agricultural commodity is being produced. This line, this vertical axis indicates the market value of produce. Suppose the market value of produce is indicated by this line. This is market value. And this is the distance from the market. Distance. Increasing distance from the market. Now suppose at this distance there is some farmhouse. At this distance there is some farmhouse. At this distance there is some farmhouse. These are the three farmhouses. These are three farmland or agricultural region which are located at successive distance from the market. This line is the cost of production. This indicates what? This indicates cost of production. Cost of production. That is, Montunan wants to say whether you are cultivating any crop here or the same crop is cultivated here or the same crop is cultivated here, the amount of input required will be same. So the cost of production will remain same whether you are producing any crop close to the market or away from the market, because in production the fertilizer, the water or whatever input is required, that remains same with increasing distance with the market. With increasing distance from the market, the cost of production remains same. This is transport cost curve. This is transport cost curve. That is, as you move away from the market, suppose your farmhouse is here, in that case the transport cost, this will be the production cost and this will be the transport cost. If your farmhouse is here, in that case production cost will be this much, production cost will be same, but the transport cost will be this much. If your farmhouse is here, in that case, suppose your farmhouse is here, in that case this would be the production cost and the transport cost would be this much. Now transport cost curve, that is, the cost of transportation is increasing with increasing distance of the farmhouse from the market. Whether the farmhouse is here or here or here, the cost of production, this line indicates cost of production. Cost of production, whether your farmland is close to the market or your farmland is away from the market, the cost of production will remain same, because for producing no transportation is required. But as the distance of your farmland increases away from the market, the cost of transporting the produce, from the farmland to the market, the cost of transporting the produce from the farmland, this is the farmland, the cost of transporting the produce from the farmland to the market, this will undergo increase. The cost of transporting the produce from farmland to the market, this will decrease as the location of farmland is close to the market. In this case, this farmland is located close to the market. As a result, the cost of transportation is less. This is called economic rent. Economic rent, that is, in case the farmhouse or the farmland is close to the market, in that case the cost of production is this much, cost of transportation is this much. This is the economic rent. This is the economic rent. That is, if the farmland is close to the market, in that case the economic rent is more. As the distance of the farmland is increasing, this is F1, F2, F3. In case the distance of the farmland is more, in that case the cost of production will be same, but the cost of transportation will be more. As a result, the economic rent will be less. And in case the farmland is located at such distance that this is the cost of production, and this is the cost of production, and this is the cost of transportation. In that case, the cost of production and the cost of transportation together, they are equal to market value of produce. This is the value, or this is the market price, market value of produce. That is this line is indicating market value of produce. Suppose this is the market value of produce, right? And your farmland is located here. In this case, this is the cost of production, this is the cost of transportation, which are together equal to the market value of produce. In this case, the profit earned by the farmer will be zero. This location is known as economic margin of production, or no rent margin. Are you getting this? See, this is the cost of production. This line is indicating what? This line is indicating the market value of produce. Suppose this is the market value of produce. If your farmhouse is here, this is the cost of production, this is the cost of transportation, and this is the economic rent. That is this. In this case, this is the cost of production, and this is the cost of transportation. This is the cost of transportation, and this is the economic rent. Now, in this case, cost of production and cost of transportation both are equal to market value of produce. In this case, the economic rent is zero. Basically, economic rent is the net income that accrues to any piece of land which is over and above the net income that accrues to that piece of land which is at the economic margin of production. Actually, the net income accruing to this piece of land which is at economic margin of production is zero. So whatever income that accrues to any piece of land is known as economic rent. Are you all getting this? In technical terms, economic rent decreases with increasing distance from the market. Why? Because with increasing distance from the market, the transportation cost goes on increasing. This is the transport cost curve. The economic rent increases with decreasing distance of the farmland from the market. As the farmland is located close to the market, the transport cost is less and the economic rent is more. What is economic rent? Economic rent is the net income. This is the net income or the net profit that accrues to this piece of land. This is the cost of production. This is the transport cost, and this is the profit, because this is the final market value. Market value of produce is this. So this is the production cost. This is the transportation cost, transport cost, and this is the profit. Now, whatever profit that accrues to any piece of land is economic rent, or you can say economic rent is the income that accrues to a piece of land which is over and above the income that accrues to that patch of land which is at economic margin of production. Land at economic margin of production means no rent margin, that is no profit. If any agricultural land is located over here, in that case the cost of production and the cost of transportation will exceed the market value. As a result, cultivation would not be feasible in those land areas. According to this theory, according to this concept of economic rent, this patch of land, the cultivation will be done for the self-consumption, not for the market, because in this case the transport cost will be exorbitant, it will be very high. Now we shall start with the real theory. That is, this was the concept of economic rent. One more thing. Why this economic rent is known as locational rent? Economic rent is more popularly known as locational rent because the economic rent of any farmland, the economic rent or the profit accruing to any farmland depends on its location. If the farmland is located close to the market, then the economic rent is more. If the farmland is located away from the market, the economic rent is less. Since the economic rent depends on the location of the farmland, therefore economic rent is also known as locational rent. It is also known as locational rent. Because economic rent depends upon the cost of transportation. As the cost of transportation increases with increasing distance from the market, the cost of transportation goes on increasing. As a result, the economic rent goes on decreasing. So economic rent depends upon the location of the farmland. Therefore, it is also known as locational rent. So this was some basic idea about locational rent or economic rent. Now we'll start with this proper theory, that is the actual theory. Clear? Any doubt? See, if you want to ask any doubt, you can ask it. Yes.